Hi, comic book friends. I'm Travis.
And I'm Ethan.
And this is
Monster Comic Review.
That's right. This is the second half of the first week of July 3rd, 2013. And we're going to start right off with, this is the awesome half, let me tell you that. Lots of great books here. We're excited. Can you see how excited he is? Woohoo! What's the first book we're talking about?
Okay. First up, we've got The Movement, issue 3.
Okay, I don't know if it was barfingly bad. It was stinky, though. Well, I don't know if it was stinky. I don't understand this book, and I really would love somebody to explain this book to me. And not, I don't understand it because I don't understand the plot line of it. I don't understand the appeal of it. I mean, I've actually heard people comment on the fact that, of course, this is not going to be frame reference for you.
Nope.
Oh, it's got some Secret Six stuff in it, and I'm like, what? It just doesn't. The Secret Six had disenfranchised heroes in it. This has labeled disenfranchised heroes in it, and they actively pursue making themselves disenfranchised, but I don't understand why they are. It to me strikes me as a choice they've made. I mean, except for maybe the rat guy, because people are freaking out over Mouse, the guy that controls all the rats, because that would be disturbing to your average person. The rest of these people don't have powers that, to me, actively say you should be disenfranchised. So I don't get it. I don't get the beginning, the storm person that's in this, the vortex or whatever the hell she's.
The witch or whatever, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So she attacks the bejesus out of him, right? Spend half the issue with her blowing him around and all this craziness and whatnot, and finally they get a hold of enough people to threaten her and she stops. And she suddenly then goes, "Oh, you're not the man?"
I know, right? This is ridiculous. It's like...
Well, no kidding, why would they be the man? What about them says they're the man?
They're disenfranchised.
Well, not even that. But what about them made them look like, sound like, or act like policemen or anything of the sort? It wasn't Superman, it wasn't Batman, it wasn't like some recognizable hero walked into the place. I could see her acting that way if it was that, thinking she was going to get put down by something like that. But otherwise, makes no sense at all. The leads here feel very un-Gail Simone-like. There's dialogue in here that sounds like Gail Simone. Sounds like something that Gail Simone's characters deliver. But as a whole, putting it all together, it just doesn't feel like it works for me. It's really... I guess I'm extra upset with the book because I wanted it to be something I was excited about. It was a Gail book and all that. And I thought the person that's on the cover...
Looks so cool.
The person that's on the cover that gets in the fight with the cops. I mean, doesn't at one point, like the last issue, doesn't she say something like, "I'm a cop too," or "I'm one of you," or something like that?
Yeah.
And then we turn around and, she's threatening them again after they've kind of beat her up and whatnot. The police let this private citizen, who bankrolls them some, do the interrogation. I mean, I'm sorry.
No. He owns them. The police force is privatized.
But they still uphold the law.
Obviously not very well.
Right, but that's my problem is, I mean, there's, to me that was ridiculous. It was far enough removed from me buying into the fact that this is the 99% versus the 1% kind of a thing. This is the disenfranchised versus...
Is that what it's supposed to be?
Yeah, versus what's supposedly the societal norms. None of that stuff's coming through right for me. I can't buy into that. It doesn't make sense. And I want to.
Yeah.
I associate with disenfranchised people, heroes, and characters more than I do anything else.
Yeah.
Because of my own personal past growing up as a kid, that's where my brain is at, where I'm at and whatnot, and I'm just having a hard time accepting the book.
Yeah, okay, there's lots of problems with this book. Okay, so I feel like some of the dialogue that's in this book, you said that it was Gail Simone. I feel like it's stereotypically Gail Simone. Like it's Gail Simone's version of phoning something in.
Okay.
I mean, it just feels like, especially Catherine's and stuff, I don't know, for some reason, it just feels to me the way she's talking while she's all angry, it feels like I've heard it before. Right. It just does. I mean, it's like...
stereotypical threats.
Yes, it is. It's just so plain. Yeah, the police drive me crazy. It's ridiculous. To some degree, the lack of morals these people have kill me. I'm like, I mean, I know there's not every cop out there is just the pinnacle of justice and equality. But
have a hard time buying into the entire.
In theory, the reason why you'd be a cop, at least in America, because it's not like the only way you can have a gun on you is if you're a policeman. Yeah. So, you know, you'd assume that to some degree, being a cop, you'd at least have a little bit of morals. So, I don't know, they just strike me as ridiculous. Oh my gosh, that is written so poorly with the friggin' rain lady. You're not with the man? No. Really? Then let's be friends. And exchange numbers.
Here's my phone number.
With each other.
Right.
Oh god. Okay.
And your version of policeman may be limited by your 15 years of living in a small city where you've never had conflict with policemen. True. I'm sure there are plenty of people who would tell you that there are lots of asshole policemen out there.
I'm sure.
I went to school with some people who were going into law enforcement and they were assholes. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So just to let you know but you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You still assume that most of them are going to follow the laws
to some degree.
To some degree. And this is this seems way outside of that.
It's ridiculous. It's what? No.
It's just
yeah, I give it a 1. So I gave.
Yeah, I'm dropping it. I mean, I'm dropping it. That's where I'm at with the book, and I'm not dropping it because I'm bored of it. I'm dropping it because I don't get it. I just don't understand it, and yeah, I wanted to like it. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I gave myself too much hype or something.
I don't think so.
Even then, I don't know. You know. Anyway, let's talk about another wonderful book. Let's talk about Phantom Stranger, issue 10. Of course, now it's the Trinity of Sin, Phantom Stranger, issue number 10. Wicked cover.
The covers are always cool, but you know, not like we ever saw that before. I like their depiction of heaven. I guess. I mean, it's cool.
Did we see heaven?
Scary. Is that?
No, this is outside of heaven.
Oh, okay.
They haven't actually made the decision.
The way they make it look, the way they're traveling around, that's kind of cool. You know, I feel like Zuriel. I'm kind of annoyed that they made him. Oh. Okay, I'm kind of annoyed that they made him African American. That sounds great. No. It's just, I liked it when he was, like, I mean, super white with black.
With black.
And if he'd been super black with white sigils, like, when he first pops down, he has this marbly black look to him, you know, and his sigils are going gold. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then he's just African American. I don't know, to some degree, that takes a little bit away of his.
You wanted him to have a more ethereal look to him, a more empowered look as opposed to a person.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess.
Sure, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So, there's that. The dialogue isn't as bad as it used to be, but it's very, well, as you said, preachy. It just is. It's just very.
And I'm not saying preachy in a
no.
This is how Jesus did it, so you should do it too.
No, just preachy as a continuous way. It just goes on and on and on. It's like I'll get done with this word bubble tomorrow.
Right.
Or the day after.
Right.
So it's just it comes across almost as being ridiculous.
Right.
It's just.
Right. I appreciate dialogue and I appreciated driving the story forward and whatnot, but there should have been something else to this book, is where I'm at. And to me, it was very obvious what soul he was going to take back.
Like
holy crap. And then for him to go, oh, now I see, it's obvious, blah, blah, blah. And I understand he was too wrapped up in, his wife and kids and all that, but at the same time.
Honestly, Phantom Stranger, you are very smart.
Yeah, I thought he was supposed to be badass, and so far he hasn't been badass. Other than he could throw a fit, just like
the Spectre?
Spectre can. Yeah, they both can throw fits.
Now, why'd you go punch a hole in Atlantis?
I am somewhat curious to see where the story goes from now, because of course he has been severed from his family. That's no longer part of the whole story, so we're not going to get bogged down in that. Because I, quite frankly, didn't think that was that interesting.
Yeah, no.
I didn't think the whole search of the family thing was that interesting.
Yeah, I have no problem with it, but
whatever. I don't think it. To me, it didn't add.
I don't think it added anything. Well,
it gave them a plot, I guess, but to me, it didn't enrich the character. No, for me, it did.
Yep.
I'll be getting it at least through the Trinity War. We'll see after that. I know I've been saying that, but I've been saying that for a long time that we're going to hit the Trinity War. See how much he has to do with it, what comes out the other end of it. I don't know. I mean, I know there's lots of you guys out there who are fans, all in the Phantom Stranger train and all that stuff, but yeah.
Nope.
It's just not my thing.
Nope. Okay, moving on. I give it a 2.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too.
Okay.
What's next?
We have Red She-Hulk, issue 67.
Final issue. Final issue. Unfortunately, I've enjoyed this thing all the way along. This entire story arc, I thought, large arc was cool. The whole idea of it was really interesting. I like Betty Ross. I think Red She-Hulk is a cool character. I like her personality in and out of being Hulk. I like even the Uber Hulk that she could pop into.
Yeah.
This issue felt kind of insane. I don't know if that's because he was put in a situation where he had to hurry up and get the last one out. They flirt with the potential idea that, ooh, look, there could be a new book. Mm-hmm. I don't know if part of what hurt this book was it went from being Red Hulk, clear up into like 57, issue 57. Mm-hmm. It was Red Hulk, and then all of a sudden it became Red She-Hulk, and so people bailed off the book, or what the deal is.
I don't know.
I think this is the first book of the Marvel Now to get canceled. Unfortunately, a female-centric superhero book, of which there aren't a whole lot, especially in Marvel. Mm-hmm. But at least they didn't kill her or anything. They set up to where they can use her.
At least she's not dead.
They can use her someplace else.
At least she has her big ass sword. I didn't have any problems with the book. Nothing really stood out. I'm glad the little girl's okay and that she didn't get whacked.
Right.
I don't really have anything else to say. Okay. Although I think that team would be cool.
With it being the kind of the spirit of Tesla.
Yeah, spirit of Tesla, Machine Man, Red She-Hulk,
and She-Hulk.
And She-Hulk. And Man-Thing.
And Man-Thing. That would be an insane. And then working for a secret branch of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Super secret
branch of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Society. Yeah, no, that'd be awesome.
That would be. Yeah, because you could tell kind of
any bad day.
Because you could tell any kind of insane story you wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because they're dealing with stuff that would be earth-shattering, but no one else knows about it except for them.
It'd be like the New Defenders.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd give it a 3.
I give it a 3 also. Okay, next we're talking about The Shadow, issue 15.
Yeah, I don't think I read this.
Why didn't you read it?
I don't know. I've
been talking about the fact I'm dropping the book.
Yeah.
Did you not read it because of that?
No. I think I just managed to miss it somehow.
So this is continuing this is the continuation of I'll spoil it for you. This is the continuation of the storyline with the woman of light, who is killing off people who got sins and whatnot. There's some investigation in this one. They're investigating the first person that was killed by her, because they don't know who was killed by her, kind of a thing. And at the very end of the book, it's got her staying outside the windowsill, and she's going to get ready to kill Langstrom, the Shadow's female compatriot, because she's talking about how lazy she is all the time. She went to the hospital to try and find out things at the hospital, and while she was at the hospital, she said, "Oh, I'm feeling ill because of consumption. I've been drinking too much, and it's really hard for me to wake up in the morning." And the doctor goes, "Oh, so you're lazy and you party too much." And of course, the nurse is standing there, who is the woman in light, going, she's coming to get her. So while the Shadow's out doing stuff, she's getting ready to bust in the door. And
some stuff happens.
Whack her.
Some people die.
I'm not into it. It doesn't have the texture, and richness that the first 6 to 9 issues of this book had for me. So I'm dropping. The Shadow.
I've liked this up until after after he kills Sparrow. What's her face? The Whip Lady. When he punches lady off. He punches that lady off the castle, which was awesome. But this arc has no interest for me at all. It's kind of predictable.
It's very pedestrian.
It's very mainstream, which is
not what we want. Yeah, a pulp book.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gritty.
That's what's good about the Shadow. But
it's very pedestrian. The art's very pedestrian. It bores me. And this woman hunting down people that fill the sins. That story's been told a million times. Unless you're gonna give me something incredibly new about it.
Exactly.
It's gonna bore me, and that's where we're at. So that's why.
It's just too bad because the issues previous to the arc I really liked.
But same here.
I mean, even that one before this arc with the bank robbery.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was okay. Yeah.
But
But it's become pedestrian, and these are the people who are going to be on the book for a while. To the best of my knowledge, no reason for me to hold out. Unless I see somebody else talking about it, and they're saying that it's become something amazing somewhere along the way. So. I would give this book a 2, just because it's very bland and pedestrian.
I would have probably given it a 2 also.
Okay. What are we talking next? Speaking of.
Next up, we have Shadowman, issue 8.
Yeah, our only Valiant comic. I like the idea of the book. I'm gonna talk about it and let you talk about it because I mean I think your opinion of it pretty much scores away except for the goofy face. I do like the art at the very beginning though. The art at the very beginning when they're in the dead. There's like 2 or 3 artists on this book, and whoever's doing that part,
Whoever's in the dead zone, that's pretty cool.
That part looks really cool. I mean, it looks eerie, it looks transcendent, and it looks pretty cool, like a ghost realm of sorts. So, like that. As a whole, though, go ahead. What did you say about the book? We were off camera.
I feel like I probably won't say it again because it'll be wrong. I skim read this book actually.
Yeah. But why? What's
not
the
invested in it at all, okay?
Right.
I mean, there's just nothing about it that interests me. I mean, okay, guy's taking over the dead zone, he's probably going to release something into the world that's going to kill everybody. Dang, this storyline original.
Well, it's not that so much.
I mean, it's
the characters,
just,
right?
Yeah, the characters. Shadowman, he drives me crazy. He's so inconsistent. I mean, I don't have a problem with characters being, I'm a weenie, and then I'm awesome, right? I don't have a problem with characters switching in between that if it's explained.
Right.
Right, you know, like I read this series where there's this vampire named Aleister Crowley, right? And when he's in the process of his hunger and drinking people's blood, he's just like, ah ha ha ha. But otherwise, he's just kind of a loser, right? So that makes sense to me. But in this, I mean, besides the fact that obviously switching in between Shadowman makes him super, I mean, it just doesn't feel like there's a real reason.
But even when
for
he is
that.
Shadowman,
Yeah.
while he's Shadowman, he's inconsistent.
He still has his, I don't know what I'm going to do, except that we're going to do this, but I still don't know what I'm going to do. It's just, I have a lot of problems with this book.
We just have no investment.
Yep.
I mean, that's what it comes down to. It's another book I'm not picking up anymore. I'm actually
That's
done.
okay.
I'm actually
Cool.
done with it. I don't know how many more issues are coming, but I think
Bummer.
last month I quit ordering it. So, wanted to like it. I like the idea, the concept of it, and the characters look cool. Other than the art, I think a lot of the art is dull also.
Bad.
So yeah. So there we are.
Okay,
With that.
so I give it a 2. Moving on. 2. 2. It doesn't suck.
And I think that, lastly, right? Yeah, last one, we are going to talk about Swamp Thing, issue 22.
Like, the only actually really, really good book we have. Someday, some sweet day, they'll stop having Constantine be the lying, backstabbing snake.
No, that's his one note. That's DC's one note for him now that he's not a Vertigo character.
Yep. Dang it. I don't like backstabbing evil Constantine.
Well-
I like generally good guy with horrible luck Constantine.
Right.
Not like Constantine that still gets everybody killed, but at least does it in somewhat honest fashion.
Right.
At least they don't have him just being a snake because he's a snake. It's because of the frickin' creepy whiskey tree.
He's been drinking from.
That's awesome.
Drinking from the whiskey tree.
It looks cool. First of all, the whiskey tree just sounds like the idea for, you know, a horror book.
Right.
And doesn't it just sound, you know, you're walking through Hastings and you see the whiskey tree and you're just like, I guess I'll read it. I mean, it just sounds like.
Oh yeah.
It sounds like, I don't know, it either sounds like a horror movie, like one of those really creepy horror movies that don't suck, or like a Twilight Zone episode.
Right.
You know? And, it's awesome that everybody, probably should have seen everybody beating each other to death over the whiskey coming, all things considered, but I didn't, so that was cool.
Yeah.
Like I said, glad that Constantine's not evil because he's evil.
Right. He's under the influence.
Yep. But I love how Alex still gets himself lost in the green. Occasionally he binds that tree and he's like, this tree is so happy that I chose it. Dot dot dot. All the others hate it.
All the other trees hate it. I know, it's just
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some cool stuff. Some great art.
I love the fact that he's the rock star of the green world.
And
That's
Cedar's
cool.
kind of Cedar's kind of creepy.
creepy.
I mean, what the hell's up with he's got this little colored grit
green
all over
boils all around. I'm like, ew.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be sitting there having a conversation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I appreciate them for being nice.
Right.
Until that guy stomps his buddy's head in. Whoops.
Yeah.
No. Don't drink whiskey. Don't drink things that strangers give you. Huh.
Yeah.
Dang.
So basically, this entire mob of what's left of the city is now beating the hell out of
each other.
Swamp Thing.
And Swamp Thing, yeah. Now.
And who's been disconnected from
the green by
Constantine. Constantine did something with some blood magic and disconnected him from the green, so now he's kind of on his own, getting pummeled by the town. while Constantine is walking around with a broken crown going, I am the king of
Yeah.
Whiskey Tree.
Oh dang.
Great issue.
Yeah.
I'm really liking the new Swamp Thing. You know, the
Yeah.
Swamp Thing with the new people on the book and whatnot. Awesome stuff. You know, Charles Soule, awesome writer.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed the heck out of this.
I have to admit, when we got the new writer, when Snyder, right? Got
Snyder was on it for
Yeah, right. When Snyder got off this book, I was kind of afraid that he'd become the Punisher of the Green. Right?
Oh, right.
I was kind of feared that it'd just be him more taking down villains, less of him still being a human, because he's not anymore.
Right.
But he is.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, that,
you know,
that stays a constant threat.
Even you know, you notice when he teleports himself places, when he's is teleporting away, right? When he builds himself up, he always puts a skeleton
Right.
under himself, and it's not just, you know, a skeleton that would make him tougher, because there's lots of modifications that you could do to a normal human skeleton to make it a lot better than it is, right? It's still just the basic
Right.
human skeleton.
Right.
That's cool. I like
Right.
that. I like that he does these, you know, because he's talking about how he's talking to the other Green Avatars, and the other Avatars talk about how they have their own little tricks. I mean, even back when Snyder was writing the book, and he talks with that, with the Swamp Thing that was a pilot once,
Mhm.
you know, he's talking about how he has a little,
Right.
yeah. So I don't know. I like this book a lot.
Some good smart stuff.
Yeah.
Very enjoyable. Very
It
happy.
makes you
that-
think.
Very happy that the book really has not lost any steam from the transition of creative people and whatnot.
Yep.
What would we give this book?
I think I'd give it a 4.
I give it a 4 also. It was quite enjoyable. The one shining comic out of this half of our video.
Yeah,
So,
gosh. Oh no, and now Red She-Hulk's gonna be done. So
Yeah,
this week is going to become really small, really
yeah,
fast.
it's gonna get tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that was it for this week of books. We'll be
Yeah.
back next week with more books. Have a great one, everybody.